everyone, welcome back to yet another Little Nightmares theory video. Are you ready for yet another theory spill? I sure am. Today we'll be talking about the one and only Hanging Man, who has a very small yet important role in the world of Little Nightmares. But quick reminder that this video contains spoilers. If you haven't played any of the Little Nightmares games, I suggest you look away. Also, I would like to add that today's video will focus on some very sensitive subjects such as suicide and hanging. If you have ever considered suicide or still is, there are tons of people that care and want to help you. I left a link in the description for anyone who needs it. And all rightful owners to the gameplays have been linked down below. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. So, the Hanging Man. I wished we knew more about him than we do. He is sadly known as a minor character in the Little Nightmares franchise, but his character goes deeper than what meets the eye in my opinion, kind of like multiple other characters. The Hanging Man is sadly one of those characters that we do not get to meet. In other words, he's dead. I mean, at this point it's kind of obvious just by reading his name. The first time we encounter this man is right at the beginning of the first chapter in the first Little Nightmares game. He is sadly seen hanging in the middle of the room. Under him is a chair, which he probably used to commit suicide. Next to said chair is an envelope probably containing his final testament to his loved ones. This whole scene screams suicide because of obvious reasons I won't get into due to sensitive nature. But because of evidence and hints that I found and put together, I don't believe it was suicide but rather murder. A famous Little Nightmares theorist called It's Just Jord also expressed something similar. Subscribe to him, he's awesome. In this episode, I will mainly explain my take on it and some of the people I believe could secretly be at fault for the Hanging Man's death. First, I'd like to talk about his link to the other Little Nightmares games. The Hanging Man's character can surprisingly be seen in a few areas. Only thing is, I am not 100% sure that it's his body. There are a few different characters that can be seen hanging. There are a few pictures of hanging bodies around the mall and also in further areas like the nest. For example, in the ladies' quarters, there's a painting of what I am assuming to be a gentleman hanging with a bag over his head. This person is wearing some nice clothing with a bow tie. To me, they really don't resemble the Hanging Man in any way. The clothing is different, the lack of a bow tie, and their hands seem to be tied and crossed together, not at all like the Hanging Man. This other painting shows the other half of his body. His pants are completely different to the Hanging Man's. Therefore, I'm concluding that these two characters aren't the same. In fact, I believe him to be the Mirror Monster. The Mirror Monster is not a very known character. He is seen in one of the Little Nightmares book comics. I won't get much into his character, just judging by this image. We already see a few resemblances, the clothing and the posture. The form that he has here is very similar to this one. Also, let's not forget his wonderful bow tie. Okay, let's now focus on the Hanging Man in question. Is he Thin Man? Before the release of Little Nightmares, I am convinced most of us assumed the Hanging Man to be in fact Thin Man due to their overwhelming resemblances. But after discovering who Thin Man really is and that the whole world could literally just be a time loop, it really makes less sense that they are the same person. How did he die? Well, obviously suicide, right? Well, what if I told you that I don't believe this is the case, and that I think he was killed and put into that position? There is one hint that points this out to me, and that is the chair. Now, in order to properly hang someone, their legs need to not touch the ground. The chair was supposed to support the Hanging Man's legs before he allegedly committed suicide. Yet, this chair isn't even knocked over. It would need to be knocked over or else it wouldn't have worked. This proved that this was in fact not a suicide but a homicide. Take a look at this. In the next room over, Six comes across a fridge which she uses to get further into the game. But before opening it and using it as a ladder, there are very visible handprints on its handle. To me, it seems like the person who made these handprints was struggling and was being dragged. They tried to hang onto the fridge's doors, but got overpowered by whoever was dragging them. Take note of the puddles of liquid, which I am assuming to be blood, that are all over the floor. These are the Hanging Man's handprints. Now, who killed him? I'm more angling towards the janitor and the lady. I believe the lady was the one who wanted to end the hanging man's life and asked the janitor to fulfill that wish. Do you remember the secret room that we can find in both Little Nightmares and its DLC? What if I told you I believe that these secret rooms were in fact the hanging man's? I mean, the same chair under his hanging body can be seen in the office and the eye room. He was the one who installed secret cameras around the mall and started spying on its inhabitants, including the lady. Now, knowing what the lady is capable of, I don't believe she would have let somebody spy on her unknowingly. Since Roger's room is pretty close to the secret room, he might have found out what was going on and let the lady know, and I'm sure you can figure out where I'm going here. Also, Roger is the only person that can be seen with blood on his body that is most likely not his, hinting once again that he is the one who murdered the hanging man. Last and quick thing I'd like to discuss is the Wax Bellman. The Wax Bellman is an unused Little Nightmares character that was supposed to carry the guests' luggage and also work as a spy that looks around the mall through two-way mirrors. A very interesting painting is found in the ladies' quarters of the Wax Bellman hung by a noose, just like the hanging man. Lots thought that they were the same person, but I really don't believe so because of the different clothing and area where they died. Alright, we're done with this one. This was extremely fun to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So what do you think? Once again, this is purely based on what I believe and what I researched. You always have room to decide what you believe is true and what isn't. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and comment on some of your theories. Take care, and I will see you guys soon for more theory spills.